I hope all is well with you and you're living by your belief system. My system is TFF, Teachings, Focus, and Flow, and I'm T-Fair's Teachings. Today, we reach the final phase, or the final idea of TFF, which is flow. And this is where the work shows where you stop thinking and start being. And so in these last two sections, T and F, the first F, Teachings and Focus, a lot of it requires thinking quite a bit, thinking in depth, reflecting on our path, reflecting on how we got there, reflecting on why we're there. And once we do this reflection, once we're able to understand the teachings and focus on them, then flow is the next state. And flow isn't just a buzzword, it's a state of mind, a zone, a rhythm you step into where your body and mind align. You don't have to force effort anymore, you've learned. And that's where the teachings come in. You've locked in, that's where the flow comes in, or that's where the focus has come in. And now you just flow. Think of athletes, creators, speakers. When they're in flow, there's no hesitation, only movements, presence. Flow doesn't have to come to people waiting. It comes to people working. And this is kind of what I said yesterday in a shorter, it might have been in the video, the full-length video. It was that the universe won't reward you unless it sees that you really want something. It seems that you put in work. It seems that you have put down distractions and you were solely focused on one idea or ideology. And again, it doesn't come to people who are just sitting there hoping that it comes. It comes to people that have put in the time and the effort. It comes to people that have studied. It comes to people that tune out distractions. And then it comes when you truly are able to trust yourself. And I like this. It says flow is earned, not found. And it's that real true message of the flow that we have. The flow state is something that is earned. It's you gain access to that after you put in work, after you've been putting in time and effort, and eventually the universe will show that you've unlocked the doors, you've unlocked the opportunities, and your flow state will allow you to excel and propel yourself past these doors. And just some examples, a basketball player doesn't think mid-shot, a writer doesn't pause every sentence. They let it pour out. That's flow. It's when you finally feel like you're able to truly just go about things without having to think. It's about just your natural state, your base state. And there's an expression that's like when you're under pressure, your lowest form of training will show. And this is why it's so essential for us to have teachings. It's so essential for us to have focus before we can get to that flow state. Because if we're teaching ourselves and we're focusing on basic low layer stuff, then our flow state won't achieve to where we want it to be. But if we're focusing on using teachings of high calibers and we're focused on things that are on a high pedestal, then eventually when we're in our flow state and that's how we've trained to the highest potential, that is how we will automatically come out. That's automatically how we will act or how we will play, because we've trained that way. We've given ourselves no other option. Yeah, and we give ourselves no other option but to flow, but to focus. And the fact that you can lose your flow state extremely quickly, and that's from constant distractions. That's from, oh, someone's yelling at you in the crowd. Oh, or, oh, I'm going about my day. I'm having a good day. I'm getting my job done, blah, blah, blah. And then someone comes in and starts yapping in my ear, like, are you serious right now? Like, you're like, come on now, like, come on. But that happens, and that's expected because that's the universe. Obviously, those things are gonna happen. And we can't allow for these constant distractions to have us upset or doubting ourselves, having it doubt our purpose, because obviously there's going to be distractions, there's going to be obstacles in the way. But if we tell ourselves, oh, there's so many distractions, this must not be where I'm ready to be at, this must not be what I'm here for, and you really allow for doubt to seep into your mind, why would you ever be successful if you're doubting things? If you have doubt in your mind that you don't truly believe in yourself, how are you ever going to truly be successful? And of course, everybody faces doubt, but it's about the ability to counterbalance this with the idea that you are so confident because you've put in so much work, because you use your teachings, you've used your focus to get to your flow state, to unlock the flow state, and you want to do this. And again, flow state is not some buzzword. That to me, that's genuinely where I want to be. I want to be having my physical, my mental, and my spiritual aligned. I want all of this to be aligned, because then that's how you truly find this sort of rhythm, this sort of fulfillment in our lives, because everything's going towards one goal, something that's above us, something that's higher than us. In any belief system, you need this. You need something that's higher than yourself. You need something that you're aiming towards, something that you want to be. And so just understanding this, it's easy to want to achieve the flow state, but again, it's hard to do that because you have to focus in, you have to be self-critical, hyper self-critical, because you have to look at yourself all the time and understand that the L's that you've taken, the disgruntlement that you felt, is all for teachings. It's all for all the mistakes that you've made. It's all for teachings. So therefore, how can you be mad at something that's literally part of a belief system? It's literally part of my belief system. So how can I be mad at that? I couldn't, which is such a crazy mindset shift that I've had personally. But understood, like, why would I be mad? Because if I was in the opportunity for the shot to go in or not, or for someone to say yes or no to me, then if they say no, then they could have said yes. And if I missed the shot and it's a good shot, then it could have gone in. It will go in, because that's just how I get down. That's how I've taught myself. That's how I've used focus to understand concepts, to understand and put myself in positions to succeed. And using these positions to succeed will happen naturally, because that's the base level of my training. That's the flow state. I won't even have to think about it. You're probably wondering, how do I stay in flow state? How do I achieve something that is looked at as rare, or looked at as something that not everybody can achieve? And it's quite simple, because everybody can achieve these things. In our minds, we all have, not all, but most people have the capabilities to achieve this, because most people have the capability to focus and work hard and look at yourself in the mirror, but most people aren't doing this. And so to a lot of people, it doesn't even seem possible. It's one of those things where it's like, unless you truly have seen that and have seen people do that, it's like a foreign concept. It's almost difficult for people to think they can do, but they only think that because their habits are terrible and they're not doing what they need to do every single day. And they give themselves room to slack off. They give themselves room to not achieve the flow state. Because if that's your only option, if you only give yourself the option to achieve this flow state by using teachings, by working hard every single day, focusing on the task at hand, or the task that you want to be at hand in the future, you have no other option but to enter this state. And this happens because you have a routine, and it's not possible to do this unless you have a routine. So for me, getting up in the mornings, recording these videos, that's starting to be my routine, so I can wake up and be creative and express myself and get thoughts off my head that I may be wanting to say. Because at the end of the day, this is my journal almost. This is for me, because I hope to help y'all, but I don't know if I ever will. So if I don't know if I'll help y'all, then I might as well just be making the videos for the TFF belief system, to just have it down, have it in writing, or have it in video that this is what I'm doing. But regardless, we must have a sort of routine that we're following. And so for me, the past 3-4 months, it's been getting up early, getting up before 7 so I can get a look at the market before it opens. And then now the past couple weeks, it's been so that I can record videos for y'all. So just so I can, again, start my day with something that is helping me. So start my day with something that I'm producing. And also, when I'm looking at the market, start with my day with something, with information that can benefit me down the line. So I'm taking 2 things early before I even go work out. I'm trying to get 2 things. Now I'm trying to look at the market so I can see the future See, the future is kind of crazy, but so yeah, I could get a rhythm for the market. I can focus. Therefore, when I'm trying to trade, I can find a flow state with trading. And secondly, I'm trying to do these videos so that therefore I have something that I've created, because consumption is at an all-time high. So I might as well start my day off with creating something so that if I am consuming the rest of the day, whether that be information or that be from like, yeah, just information. If it's bad information, good information, I'm consuming it, but I know that I've made something that I can be proud of, something that I can believe in. So that's why every single day you gotta just cut the distractions and create a structure for yourself that allows you to easily find your flow state after you've done these things for weeks or months or years. And again, it's not about controlling, or I'm not sure if it's again, but it's not about controlling the outcome. It's about preparing for the opportunities that you'll be given once you start living within your flow state, once you start living within your nature. And if you can just seize the opportunities, if you can be prepared for your opportunities, then the outcome will control itself. The outcome will be what you want because you've already envisioned it. And even if it's not the perfect outcome, when we're living with our flow state, we're so appreciative of every little thing that happens that sometimes the lessons or the losses can feel even better, because it's like, I know I'm right there. I know I'm right there to where I want to be at. And so those eventually become appreciated. So everything that you're doing is becoming appreciated. And if you can appreciate yourself for everything you do, then that's a beautiful thing. I'm not going to lie. That's a beautiful thing. And y'all, finally, just to close it out, flow is where it all comes together. TFF is not just a belief sequence. It's a set of steps to help you find your flow. You teach yourself something new, you focus on what matters from that subject, and then you flow when it all clicks in. And when you have that time and that preparation and the teachings and those focus come together, this is where you get your flow state. And if you stay committed to that process, your life will start making sense. Not because it's easy, but because it's aligned spiritually, physically, and mentally. So again, I appreciate y'all so much. TFF coming at y'all. T-Fair's teachings, I'm gone. I appreciate y'all so much for tuning in. Like, sub, comment if you made it this far. And yeah, I'll be at it with another video tomorrow. So thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. Have a good day. Bow, simple.